Hello, ladies. Welcome to tonight's Live Boss Lady live call. Make sure right now you go ahead and send those last minute texts, calls. Make sure you have all your ladies and your gents, and that your gents have your ladies. For those that do not know me, my name is Jessica Rios Trujillo, and I am one of the Lady Boss member council members, secretary, and one of your boss lady leaders. And I'm so excited for today's call because we are going to be coming in hard. I mean, strong. Tonight's topic is closing strong. And I can't wait because I'm going to be sharing floors with Michelle. And we're going to go on in not just how to close this month strong, but how to close this quarter strong and start this next one even stronger. So with that said, Ms. Michelle Wilson, please take it away.
Absolutely, Jess. Man, I'm telling you, the first quarter of 2017 has been crazy. I mean, first we had the March Madness thing, really just to close out the first quarter, which I think it was an ingenious idea. Cliff Braun and Anthony Napolitano, went out and they were just traveling all over the place, which obviously when momentum is growing like that, it's like, man, all the other leaders, like, we need to start growing, events all over in our areas as well. So I mean, we had events popping up like in Seattle and out in Toronto and New York and Florida. I mean, just all over. And of course, all over internationally as well. Rick Roberry's out there as well, adding to the March Madness, going in Germany and Ireland. And I mean, it was chaotic, you know what I mean? Just all these packed out events. And I know Toronto kind of just ended their March Madness this past week here. And so you guys can kind of see what it takes for you to get to that next level and for how what a 90-day sprint looks like. If you guys were really paying attention to what these leaders were doing, I mean, they were literally going in and doing event after event after event after event, and they weren't stopping. See, when we're creating momentum, the biggest thing that people fail to do is once they get one event done and they're excited about it, they stop. You know what I mean? They stop doing calls. They stop doing it, home meetings. They stop doing, you don't have to have this huge event in order for you to continue that momentum. You can continue having momentum by having a huge event and then doing, meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, either at one-on-one or whether it's, home meetings. I mean, home meetings are the best meetings. I remember my mentor always told me, if you don't know the color of the carpet of the person that you're doing meetings for, you're not doing enough meetings for that person, or you're not doing enough meetings, period. If the people at Starbucks don't know who you are, or they don't know how, your upline, downline doesn't know what your house looks like and exactly where it's at, you're not doing enough meetings. Okay. So one-on-one meetings and home meetings are definitely what is used to create the momentum to get people to these huge events, to continue the momentum to do against a bunch of small meetings to go, of course, get to the next a big event. Okay, so definitely momentum and consistency is key. So we're closing out this month strong. I mean, Jessica, what have you done this last month here to set you up for next month?
Ooh, okay. I actually didn't know what you're gonna ask me today, and I was like, how am I gonna share this closing the month strong? And I'm glad you said that because right now I was just liking up, listing stuff so that we can get more ladies on the call right now. This month, I was starting to realize that there was changes that I needed to make in myself and in my business to grow. So I said, where do I have to start with these changes? I said, I need people who want to run. I need people who want to build. So earlier this month, I partnered with 3 young ladies and 1 gentleman who have absolutely no knowledge, who have absolutely no experience in the industry and business and trading. And I said, that's exactly where I started. However, now I'm ready to lead. Now I'm ready to mentor. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to duplicate because it's something that I had not done. And I think I told you this this weekend over at your house. I'm in Texas now. I was in California over the weekend, and I shared a moment with Michelle when I was telling her, hey, what did I do wrong? Because, I had that wrong mentality for a split of a second, which is not so common for me. And I realized that last year I personally sponsored 50 directs, 50. And I said, I presented that opportunity. I mean, I I closed them myself, right? Of course, I leveraged, I had support, I had three ways, but I did that close. I got them started and I trained. So where do I got to switch up? And I'm like, I have to switch up in the time. And what I realized is that I'm using my time differently. So for example, I'll tell you what I did today. Not only this month did I say I have to go to my people, I said I have to show up to Michelle's event house, even if I don't have a guest of my own there. If one of my builders, one of my partners has a guest, I'm going to show up, because that's what a leader would do. You have to show up to go up. So what I realized is there's not only an ROI in trading, but also an ROI in time. And the ROI, the return on investment in time, you're not always going to get. And I realized that I was not getting my return on investment, because who has worked with me can say they went out and they built a business. They went out and they're now self-employed on, photographer. They went out and they now have their own brand. But I realized if it took me 23 years to make a life plan, I have to show my team and those that I want to help grow how to get a return on investment big on the time. So what I did is today I hit up my my partners who wanted to be guaranteed generators this month. We haven't made it happen, and I said next month we're all business builders, no question asked. But the way we're gonna do that is by keeping our eyes on on the team. So what I did is I called them up and I said, this is how we're gonna close it. The last 48 hours, what we did not do by the 22nd, you could do the last 48 hours, because by the 22nd, you know what you didn't do the whole month. So you know exactly what you got to get done. The next 48 hours, I personally, right now, I'm going to have to start dialing. It's on paper. I have to start dialing because I have a list of 25 to 30 partners who I've prospected, who I've followed up with, who are all yeses. If I follow the system to the dot, that's 4 to 6 new partners. But it's not about me. It's about helping my team. And I realized I have to close this month strong. One, me, but I have to show my team how to do that. So what I did is I said, my eyes on the team, first of all, foremost. And two, I got to show my people how to have a return on their investment by, one, planning, two, understanding that you could be the best organizer, which I'm big on organizing, but I wasn't always good at prioritizing. So I'm starting to turn those planners into schedules, into calendars, and I want you to continue, but I want to share an activity that I did for myself earlier today, actually, which is what I'm doing with my team, which is what we're going to do April, May, June.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's basically exactly what everybody needs to be doing. So remember, everything that you're setting up for the end of this month is going to set you up for next month, okay? So we're closing out the month strong. Keep in mind, even if people do not close out this month, okay? Obviously, our intentions is to get them closing out. I have done probably 30 follow-ups today, and I probably got about 5 or 6 calls today following up with people, and people are like, yes, I'm ready to get started, this is what's going on, whatever. You just running through the numbers, because guess what, if you don't know, if you don't ask, it's an automatic no. I mean, even with people that you're messaging and they don't respond to you, go back and say, hey, I remember, a great message I sent today to people was like, hey, I remember our conversation that we just had maybe a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago. I wanted to see what your schedule is like today. I definitely want to get you on the phone today. Boom, got them on the phone. They're like, yes, absolutely. See, what happens is we fail to assume that people are just not interested, or they just left us on scene because they just don't want to talk to us. That's not the case all the time. There's so many times where I message people back and they're like, hey, I'm so sorry, I got so busy that day, or this happened or that happened, whatever the case may be. So if you're assuming that it's just not for them, then guess what? It's not for them, and you're deciding that for them, not them deciding for themselves, okay? So fortune is in the follow-up, right? The money's in recruiting, yes, but the fortune is in the follow-up. Follow up with people, super strong this end of the month so you can close out. Now, say they don't close out this month, they don't get started tomorrow. Guess what? You just set yourself up for next month. You know what? I can't get started today, Michelle. I can't get started tomorrow, but you know what? Maybe I can get started next week, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, we want to close strong, and we want to find every single reason why they're not getting started. Remember, objections are not objections. They're complaints. People are always complaining about why they can't get started. They're complaining they don't have enough money. They're complaining they don't have enough time, and they're complaining that they don't have enough information, right? So let's go ahead and get rid of those complaints and get them and overcome them. and get them started. If the complaint is still, is still existing, let's figure out what day we can schedule to go ahead and squash that complaint. And usually the complaints are those three things: money, time, and information. And I always let people know that there's always three things. Okay, is this product right for you? Is it valuable? Can you afford it? And am I a type of person that you're going to want to work with? Out of those three things, if your answer is going to be yes, then we might as well get you started already. Right? What's the worst going to happen? It's not a disease. You're not going to get sick from it. Let's go ahead and get started today. You know what I mean? People are going to have an objection of, I got to go ahead and ask my wife. You know what? I have to ask my husband everything. You know what? But my husband and wife, anything that I'm actually interested in, I see a lot of value in, and I want to better myself, would never tell me no, not to do it. So if your husband's like that, I mean, your wife's like that, let's just go ahead and get you started. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get started. Look, and you can say this with confidence. Look, it's better to ask for permission. It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Let's go ahead and get you started. And I mean, what's your wife going to be upset that you went and got, you found an opportunity to bring more money to the table? Not really, right? So there's so many different objections that we can get to. We got to go ahead and learn how to overcome these objections. We got to learn how to overcome these things. And if you guys need help with closing, that's where you got to go and pick up the phone and start calling your upline. I got follow-ups to do. These people need to be closed. They've already been on three-way calls. They've already seen a webinar. It is time to close. It is time to squash the complaints. Okay, that's all it is. They're just complaints. And set up those complaints and set up the closing for, today and tomorrow. How many of you guys are ready to stop being stuck in the same position that you were the month before or the last 90 days? How many of you guys are sick and tired of being stuck at not ranking up or not even getting your membership taken care of? You can achieve anything that you set your mind to. Anything. You'd be surprised when you actually go and work to your full potential, what you can accomplish. And I know Jessica and I have had a lot of conversations with that. She's like, man, Michelle, if I would have just followed the system, I would have been ranked up like a long time ago. And sure enough, she follows the system, boom, she ranks up. All right. And she sees it every single time. I'm telling you, the system is set up for you to save you time, energy, and money. Utilize the system and utilize your uplines to help you close. Now, again, if nobody closes this month, at least you're setting up for next month. Because remember, all the work you put in for this month sets you up for next month. All the work you put in for next month sets you up for the next month, which is why we always want to get you set up to where you're going to hit 500 Club your first month. If you don't hit 500 Club just the first month, at least you're putting in the work, and you're probably going to hit at least your membership, and you're halfway to 500 Club. 500 Clubs in the bag, meaning by the next month, you're probably going to be by the 15th, you should already be hitting 500 Club, setting up yourself to hit, a 4K Club. Right? I gotta remember these, the different, obviously we have different names now, right? So every rank that you hit, you want to aim high, and even if you miss, it's okay. So your problem is that we don't aim high, we aim low and hit. That's not, that's the problem. We don't aim high enough. It's okay to aim high and miss. Just don't aim low and hit, because we don't want to hit low. We want to hit high. And even if we don't make it, it's fine. At least you're halfway to the rank that you want to go ahead and set yourself up to. So consistency is key. And like Jessica was saying, setting up these systems and setting up duplication for your team. If you don't have your teams on these calls, well, how are they going to learn? If you've never built a network marketing business before, that's what these calls are for. So you can get educated on on the blueprint on what these other leaders have done, what they've failed at, and learn how to get better at. So that way you can follow the blueprint and get at a lot faster. Okay, so that's why we always have to be promoting these calls, always promoting what we have learned and duplicating it. Remember, the best thing about this business is we get to duplicate ourselves. Can you imagine going to work and having like multiple people do your job? How much faster would you be able to leave work? And how much faster would you be able to get a paycheck? It's the same concept with this business. We work together as a team, right? Everybody brings in leads. Somebody does the calls, and that person's bringing leads, and somebody's doing calls. And that's how it duplicates with that. So Jessica, I'm going to go ahead and let you end this call here. I know I'm at like 1% battery. I've been so many calls back to back. But I mean, guys, let's close this month out strong. Use the system to save yourself time, energy, and money, and close the month out to set you up for the next month. What rank do you want to end out at? Remember, you got 48 hours to set yourself up to where exactly you want to be. The time and the choice is up to you. 48 hours of your life that's going to help you set up the next month that could possibly change your life. Same thing happened to me when I was pregnant. So 48 hours, I had 48 hours left to hit the best rank, one of the first ranks in my first company, and I went out of my comfort zone. I remember at 11:59, I had signed up 5 people because I pushed and pushed and pushed at the last minute, 11:59, and I got them all started all on the biggest package, and I hit a rank, and the feeling was amazing. It was amazing, knowing like I did it. I'm making money next month. This is exciting. And now all I got to do is teach them the same thing. So put in the work. Let's close out. Jessica, I'm going to go ahead and leave it to you to go ahead and close out the call here today. And I appreciate you guys all getting on here. And Jessica, go ahead and take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michelle, for taking the time out of your day, your business. I mean, ladies, we have a presidential that is willing to support us unconditionally day in and night out. In these next 9 minutes, I just want to share some, heart-to-heart words with you. I mean, the reason why I knew that I could, I know I could go get a job and go get a profession and a career and, do things the right way. And I will make a 6-figure income linearly, no questions asked. However, ask yourself and tell yourself, people in a lifetime will not know what it feels like to have a profit. People in a lifetime will not know what it feels like to have any type of residual income. Take it from our presidential Boss Lady founder, top leader, that, and earner, that you can go out there in the last 48 hours and do what you have not done the entire month. I like to tell everybody the first of the month to the 15th, you should be grinding it out. Not like it's the second half of the month. You shouldn't be working, the first day like it's you shouldn't be working the last day like it's the first day. You should be working the first day like it's the last day. By the 15th, you should be shooting for half through your goals, right? By the 22nd, you have 7 days to still go out and make it happen. Because let's be real, we're humans. You know exactly what you got to do, but go get it done. Go do it. 1. Now, when you're at the 48 hours, this is what you should be asking yourself. This is what I'm telling myself. I already called up my team. I told them what I'm there, what I can help them with. Put me on this, do this. Let me know what I can do for you. But I want you to realize that you need to ask yourself, where are my numbers? I need you to ask yourself, how many 3-ways did you do? I gave somebody in my team a reality check in the last 24 hours, and I said, listen, what you did in a month, somebody else could have done in a week. Somebody else could have done in a day. Think about that. And then somebody else could have said, you know what? I only have hours. I have 168 hours a week. But if I'm going to go work, 80 to 160 hours a month for somebody else, am I even putting a quarter to myself? Am I even putting half into myself? Once you know where your 3-ways are at, once you know where your follow-ups are at, see, if it's a yes or if it's a no. If it's a yes, you start. Because at the end of the day, until the moment that you close someone, that's when you open them. That's when the real work starts. Doesn't matter if you talk to them for a day, for a week, for a month, or for even a year. I'm about to start somebody who I've been following up with for a year. And right now what Michelle said is true. On my biggest days, I've started 4 individual partners in a single day. When I grind it out for days, when I grind it out for weeks, and I couldn't do it. And then in 2 days, I've recruited up I've partnered up with 2 one day and 2 the following day. When I couldn't do the same thing in weeks, when I couldn't do the same thing in days, but it was because I was strong. And what I mean by strong is this: once you know if it's a yes, you start them, because you want that return on investment, not on your time, on their time. See, in order to be able to create success stories, you have to be the person who understands, if I'm an employee, I'm selfish. If I'm a self-employed person, I'm greedy. But if I'm a business owner, I'm a leader. If I am an investor, which is an entrepreneur, a professional investor, a person that can say has money working for them, money making the money. Now you can take startups and create success stories out of them. And see, people are not willing to make the jump from the E to the S to the B to the I. But guess what? You can always fall back. But if you want to make it to the I, you got to jump from the E to the S to the B to the I. So do you want to be, were you put on this earth to be an employed person? Or were you put on this earth to be a self-employed person? Or were you put on this earth to be a leader, a business owner? Or were you put on this earth to be an investor, a mentor? See, you got to understand that you have to choose your teachers wisely. And if you're only keeping your eyes on your own paper, you're not going to go very far. In school, yeah, don't copy, don't plagiarize. But guess what? Out here in business, if you're not being Instagram copying Snapchat copying, Facebook, and Facebook just saying, you know what, you have nothing on me. I got the deal. I got what you need, not what you want, and but what you deserve. Now you're flipping the game. So I want you to think about that. If it's a no, great. It's not now. It's not yet, but that's a referral right there. On top of that, I want you to realize that, all right, once you already looked into your partners, once you already know what your numbers are, it's time to get your work. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Literally after this call, I have to go to the gym, smash that out, and I have to come back and I have to call 15 to 20 people who have told me yes. If I follow the system the right way, if I trust the process, if I shut up and I listen to what my mentors have told me, then what's going to happen is I'm copying the right cats. And for that reason, that kind of follow-up will actually give me 4 to 6 partners. But what I'm trying to tell you this is to close the month strong, you should have been working strong all month. And if you did not work strong all month, you can still close strong right now. However, tomorrow also ends Q2. And I only have 4 minutes to say this, but I'm going to give you a mini training, an exercise that I did for myself and for my girls earlier today. I want you to ask yourself, all right, what do you need to do? What is your goal? What was your goal for this month? Because that tells you what you need to get done. Go and do it. That's one. That's basic. That's not what I want to say. What I want to say is this. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what is my goal for Q2? What is my goal for Q3? What I mean by that is, what is your goal by the end of June? What is your goal by the end of September? See, Q1 ends tomorrow. You should have done all the planning you had to do already. Q2 starts on Saturday. All right. That means you're running at that point. Q2 is running. Q3 is the rerun, which ends in September. So by October, November, December, you actually crash. You close the year strong with Q4, because that's the push. That's when people slow down because it's Halloween, it's Christmas, all this stuff. New Year's coming up. But I want you to ask yourself, are you going to say bye to summer and bye to spring and hi to summer like you want to? Are you going to say bye to summer and hi to fall like you want to? And are you going to say bye to fall and hi to winter like you want to? Is your Christmas tree going to look like you want to? Or are you right now at this point still have absolutely no idea how December is going to end for you? See, I recently have been telling, my family and friends, it took me 23 years to make a life plan. And I hope it doesn't take you that long. Because if it took me that long, if it took me 2 years to realize, you know what, if I hit 6 figures in 4 years, which I knocked out 2 already, I was like, it's worth it. Residual, are you kidding me? And if it takes me by my age of 30 to make my first million, hey, I still 10x time. If I just put $500 into a trading account and I let, the account work strong and close strong month after month after month after month, then I can save my own time, energy, and money so that I can go all out there and create startups, create success stories from startups. But it starts with you. So what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, 1, are you live? Are you live? And how is your product testimonial looking like? First and foremost. 2, what goal did you want to smash by tomorrow? And go out there and do it, because you know what you need to get it done. 2, what is your goal for Q2? Because you're going to run. What is your goal for Q3? Because you're going to rerun. By the time Q4 comes around, you're just pushing, because you know that after spring comes summer, and after summer comes fall, and after fall comes winter. And the next 10 years are going to look like the next 10 years. The last 10 years are going to look like the next 10 years. But are you the person who's getting the head? Or are you the person who's, getting behind? Because I want you to know, whoever you are on this call, you actually have more work than time right now. And I'm still glad you're on the call. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. I want you to go out there and realize that it starts with making a plan. 1. 2, it starts with staying the course, obviously. But 3, in order to start multiplying, which is what you need, in order to start duplicating, you have to understand that you have to follow the system first in order to become the leader. Once you're the leader, then you can slowly start becoming the mentor. Once you're the mentor, you're going to be able, to close strong. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'll even declare it right now. I said on or before October 16, I'm going to be a 6-figure earner. And the crazy part is that the actual work involved is actually only 6 months. But it's taking me more time to catch up to that, because I had to catch up to a learning curve. And we only have women in to knock this call out, ladies. But I need you to know this. Whatever your goal is, it does not matter. A 6-figure income, for example, it's called a 6-figure earner, not a 6-figure learner, because it doesn't matter how much you learn. It's not a matter of money. It's not a matter of knowledge. It's a matter of time. So know it is your time, and know that you can do it too. If your goal was the 500 club this month and you didn't hit it, it's okay. Do what you can to smash it, to get closer to it, so that next month, no questions asked, you're there, baby girl. And if not, understand this. Next month, let's say that were your goal for, the first month of the second quarter. That means you need 8 to 12 partners. That means per week, you should have 2 to 3 partners a week, right? And that means you hit the 500 club next month. That means by the end of June, you put yourself in a position where you are already, right? That's our business builder, where you are already a 4K, which is now our executive business builder, right? Think about that. Man, and you still have 1 more month to close quarter 2, however you want to, right? So just keep that in mind. And I just want you to know this. I want you to ask yourself, what is my burning desire? 1. And then I want you to ask yourself, why is that your burning desire? Because if your burning desire was strong enough, you would have smashed your goals this month. And if it's still strong, but not strong as strong as it can be, then you're going to smash it month was I want to hit 100 club, or I need to hit 100 club, or then probably you didn't hit it. Why? Because that's kind of like saying I should hit 100 club. I could hit 100 club. I might hit a 100 club, but I won't. No. But if your predominant thought was, you know what? I will hit 100 club. I can hit 100 club. I am going to hit 100 club. You would have hit 100 club. Just like it would have been for the guarantee generator. It would have been for the business builder. It would have been for the executive. It would have been for any other building. But ask yourself, are you in the mentality that you're closing weak because you're like, oh, I have to hit 100 club. I have to go out there and find 2 to 3 partners. And in reality, you're saying, I have to get 3 to get my business paid for. No, you should be in the mentality of, let me get 3, let me help 3, and let me get 3. Boom, you're in the 500 club by yourself. The month after that, you're 4K. The month after that, you're 10K. And then somebody else, like Michelle, who's presidential, she's on the exact same mentality, on the exact same basics. But this is her mentality. I need to get 3 who are 6-figure earners, who are understand that it's not a matter of learning, it's a matter of doing. And then help those 3 get 3. So you understand that whatever goal rank you're going for, if you're going for 100K, that means you need 50Ks in your organization. That means you need 25Ks in your organization. That means you need 10Ks in your organization, 4Ks, 500 clubs, either all 100 clubs, all 500, or leaders and mentors in your organization. So I hope you have your plan out for quarter 1. Quarter 2 starts on Saturday. Today, just focus on your numbers, because if you know where your inviting is, if you know where your prospecting is, if you know where your follow-up is, if you know where your closing is at, then you know where you got to go present. you know exactly where you got to go close, and you know exactly where you got to go train. And tomorrow, when you hit your goal, when you get as close as you can to your goals for this month, and the same thing at the end of quarter 2, and the same thing at the end of quarter 3, now you're in a position to ask, to answer yourself, not even to ask, who do I got to go to work with? How do I got to go to work with? And where are we going to go to work with? Start changing that I, that me, for that we, that us. So with that said, ladies, I gave myself goosebumps right now, but I'm gonna give you a close, strong challenge. I want you to stay serious. I want you to stay sharp, and I want you to stay strong. And I want you to ask yourself right now, give yourself 2 minutes and ask yourself, why did I start? What have I done since I've started? And ask yourself, how am I gonna finish? See, because this is the thing. At the beginning, they're going to want to ask you why? Why? Because you're selling. You're not closing. You're convincing instead of looking for the lookers, right? You are literally saying, oh, do you want to be a client or do you want to be a partner? As opposed to, have you ever thought about turning our friendship into a partnership? Yeah. See, I want you to ask yourself, are you looking at your business like you're just looking at yourself? Or are you looking at your business? Like, I'm not even looking at people. I'm looking at businesses. I'm looking at franchises. I'm looking at leaders. I'm looking at partners. I'm looking at, accountability and running partners. I'm looking at families. I'm looking at futures. Ask yourself that. Because if you don't work with the why first, and then the what, and then the how, you're going to be stuck in the why, and it's only going to make sense to you and nobody else. You're never going to make the jump to the what. When people start asking you, what do you do? Right? And eventually, I'm not at the how yet. Hey, how do I join you? How do I get started? But once you get to the how, you're going to understand that you made it, because I'm at the what right now. What do you do? How do you do that? How are you able to do that? Right? But anyways, ask yourself that. What is your burning desire? Why is it your burning desire? And what's your predominant thought? Because what your predominant thought was this month, I guarantee you that's how far you got. However, if you're not close on that, 1 month mentality, if you're more focused on the 3 month mentality, on the 6 month, I promise you, anything that you have set, out for yourself, you're gonna get it done. Reach out to the ladies, reach out to any girl that you can, any boss lady, any champ, any of the leaders, any of the mentors, and let's go out there and make it happen. Because understand that, yeah, you are in business for yourself, but you're not in business for yourself. So as long as you know what you want to do this, by tomorrow, it's there, you're done. And by next month, you're going to be that much closer to your goals. The goal that you're setting yourself out right now for quarter 2, you are already there. And the goal that you're setting yourself out for, quarter 3, you are already there. Ironically, the end of quarter 3 is actually when we show up to convention. So ask yourself, this time around, how do I want to show up to convention? Are you going to be sitting down or are you going to be on stage? And then realize that you can go out there and show your team and your organization. On April 1st, are you going to be part of the foolery fuckery, or are you going to be part of the sharp and serious? Sorry. So with that said, just know that quarter 1 planning is over. Game over. Quarter 2, let's start running. Quarter 3, you got to rerun. And by the end of quarter 4, you've been pushing through that. By the end of December, you are where you couldn't even possibly have imagined. And all it takes is for you to know what you got to do, who do you got to go to work with, where do you got to go to work with, month after month after month. Tomorrow, get as close as you can to your goal, if not past it. And if not that, the next month, same thing. Ask yourself, what is my goal? What is my rank? What do I want to hit? And just hit it. That's all you got to do. Break it down from your quarter to the 3 months, from the months, break it down to the 4 weeks. From the 4 weeks, break it down to what are you going to go do every single day. So with that said, ladies and gents, I hope you got value from this. Understand that every single dream you have, every single goal you have is not a matter of knowledge. It's not a matter of money. See, think about this. Somebody could have made $1 million last year, but if they did not know how to put some of that to the side and have it work for them, man, they're still starting at zero every day. It doesn't matter if they're already in the self-employed or in the business owner and they still haven't jumped to the investor side. And on top of that, let's say you made 6 figures already. Let's say you even make $75,000 linearly, not residually. If you still can't put 10 grand to 15 grand to the side, then you still do not know how money works. You still do not know that working hard is not going to get you there. So, let's go out there. Let's make it happen. And God bless each and every one of you. If you need help, reach out to anybody. We're here. Let's go. Peace out.